Okay, we are recording. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Rock Herpes podcast number 2. I know you guys thought it would never come, but it's here. This time not with Colton, a good friend of the show, Kendall. Kendall, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. I told him he could host on the old podcast like a year ago, and so you gotta make good on your promises. Okay, so announcements. We have Camunition booked for next podcast, which should be next weekend. Colton and maybe Dakota will be there, maybe Kendall. It depends.
Ooh, maybe Kendall.
Maybe Kendall. If Dakota doesn't show for the third time, then maybe Kendall.
No, he's gonna let me do it if I do a good job today.
Yeah, if you're a good boy on episode 2, you can be on episode 3. If we're being honest with ourselves, Dakota's probably not going to be there.
Wait a minute, I gotta talk to him for a second. If you are watching this and you haven't listened to Post's new album, go do that. Stop listening to this.
I mean, it's not like there are spoilers or anything.
No, but they need to go listen to it. It's great.
There's something like buzzing behind my computer, and I don't know what it is, but I kind of don't want to go look for it. Can you hear it?
Watch it be like on fire back there. No, I can hear it.
Well, look real quick. Okay, I can't find it. Whatever. Okay. So, alright, so Post Malone's new album, as Kendall said. What was your opinion of it, Kendall?
It's great. I would say it's better than Stoney.
I think it's better than Stoney too. When Psycho came out, my expectations for it lowered like exponentially. So, I mean, but Rockstar was good, but then Psycho came out and it was like, oh no, this album's gonna be bad.
Psycho was kind of like one of those songs where it's just like, okay, first time it's pretty bad, second time it's like progressively worse. And then the more you listen to it, the more you don't like it.
I mean, it got progressively worse there for a while, but then I listened to it more, and it got better, I think.
Agreed.
And the music video for Psycho was really good, if you didn't see that.
I don't know if I did or not. Probably didn't.
It's cool. It's awesome. They had kind of like a Mad Max thing for the music video, and
I'll have to watch that.
yeah, they got like almost a tank. It's not really a tank, but it's like an army type vehicle that they were riding around in the desert. It's pretty cool.
I wasn't really too big of a fan of Rockstar either, to be honest.
I liked Rockstar. I didn't like it as much at first, though.
I kind of liked it at first, but now it's kind of like compared to his newer songs, it doesn't really fit the album, I think.
I think we've just heard Rockstar too much, honestly.
But the real, like, elephant in the room, why is Candy Paint in that album?
Yeah, that's kind of retarded. Like, that's had 3 releases now. It was on the Fate of the Furious soundtrack, it was a single, and now it's on Beerbongs and Bentleys.
I want him to, like, make a new album that just has Candy Paint in it, like, and the title would be, I don't know what to do with this.
Candy Paint, release number 4.
Wait, I know it's obviously not his decision or whatever, but like, what is their thought process behind that?
I don't even really know. Like, I don't really think he should have put it on Fate of the Furious. I could see him releasing it as a single and then putting it on this album. I mean, it'd still be 3 singles, but
Well, it's made for that movie though.
yeah.
Like, that's why it's the thing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna turn down your audio a little bit. You're going into the red.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like, there are 3 bars on this. There's like this big green bar, and then there's this smaller yellow bar, and then like a smaller red bar at the end. And like, the higher your audio gets, the closer it gets to the red, and yours is like always in the red. I just turned it down though. You're good.
Okay, I'll try and chill, I guess.
No, it's okay. I turned
We
you
gotta
down.
discuss. We gotta discuss Mr. Rocket Man himself.
Mr. Rocket Man, what?
North Korea.
What? Oh, North Korea. oh, okay.
You're so stupid, man.
Well, I didn't even know what you said the second time. I thought you said like Mr. Rhea. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't really call him a Rocket Man anymore, bruh. They're like getting rid of the
Nah,
nuclear
he's more of
program and
a.
stuff. Like he's having gay sex with the
Oh
South
yeah, they're
Korean
totally just
leader.
gonna give him up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was interesting.
yeah. The fact that they held hands crossing each other's borders was kind of strange.
Yeah,
Which I mean, it might be part of their culture
we might
or
be,
something. So
we might be, we might be like being really like racially insensitive or something, and like saying that, but when they're like, that's a tradition or something,
yeah, yeah. It could be that that's just a gesture of like giving someone a handshake over here or something.
like a gesture of goodwill or something.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. If they want to, they can. I don't care if they're gay. But, I think Kim's making
It's
some
what
good steps
Koreans do
forwards.
or Koreans business.
Yeah. Do you think
I don't
Korea.
think he's actually gonna give up his nukes.
I mean, I think he's going to keep the ones he has already, but I don't think he's going to make any more, is basically what he said.
I don't really think he wants his country to like be open to the rest of the world.
Mm.
Like it's been this way for so long. I don't think it'll ever be anything else. Like it'll never be Korea then.
No, I don't think there will ever be a unified Korea. I mean, even if North and South Korea become indistinguishable from each other one day, they're still going to be separate countries.
I agree. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, they're not. They're so different at this point. Like so you got South Korea, and it's pretty much little United States, like over there.
yeah,
But
it's
and then North Korea is like communist Russia.
exactly like North Korea is one of the last fully communist states that exists.
Did you know they claim to be a democracy?
Yeah, the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. Or no, it's the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, actually, because they claim the entire
Yeah,
peninsula. But South Korea
but
also
they like
claims the
go
entire
to
peninsula. So
when they go like and have the elections and only he runs.
yeah, exactly. It's like
They just sort of like have a parade or something, and then they go vote, and that's the end of that. Of
Kim Jong
course, like a
Un, our
military
god.
parade, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're making some good steps forward, though. I think they need to do something about their population, but I think they'll at least be in good spirits with the rest of the world here from now on, because they're not being like, oh, I have a nuclear button, and so do you as well, but I'm just now getting one, so I get to brag about it.
Well, like, it's kind of, for me, it's like, well, okay, if they're being nice with these other countries and stuff, right? Maybe they'll let, like, some of the South Koreans come into North Korea if they want, and maybe that'll slowly, like, as the years go by, North Korea will get progressively, like, better off.
Well,
Like, as it's getting new people.
people are technically allowed to go into North Korea still. Just like
Yeah, but they watch their every move and stuff.
yeah, you basically have to have a guided tour of the entire country.
And the populace, correct me if I'm wrong, they're not allowed to leave, are they?
No. I mean, even if they could, they really can't. So
It's kind of like Berlin, you know?
yeah, but I mean that wall fell.
North Korea doesn't even have any walls, does it?
No,
Nah, I'm sure they have a wall.
I mean, there are probably some walls But the DMZ is like much bigger than you would imagine. Like in some places it's like just guarded, and other places it's just a big patch of empty land with a bunch of landmines in it. So I mean,
A bunch of landmines.
yeah, I mean there are landmines all along that border.
Did you know that it's illegal to have landmines like made with plastic? Well, not illegal. It's against the Geneva Convention. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Why?
Well, if you have like a metal detector or something, like the military will use those and they can detect them.
Yeah.
But if it's plastic, can't detect it.
You gotta make fair
And
landmines,
like,
guys.
it's like this in war with North Korea, and you plant like a bunch of landmines around them, and then you stop being at war with them, and your landmines are made of plastic. They can't get those up. Like, they don't know where they are, so people are just going to be exploding.
I mean, like, I don't know. I guess you gotta make. I mean, you know. I guess you have to make some parts of war fair.
Well, I mean, they've got like right now we have the technology to have laser guns, but it's against the Geneva Convention.
Yeah. Well, also
Any weapons that blind people as well.
That'd be very expensive to make laser weapons.
It's really not compared to what they spend to manufacture like ammunition.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the actual gun itself and the upkeep that would require.
It would probably be mounted on like a tank type deal before it would be like a foot soldier weapon, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the tank is a big innovator. You know, the tank, I believe, came out before the automobile.
Oh yeah.
Like that was one of the first things that the combustion engine was used in, I think.
That and like trains, isn't it?
Trains don't really use a combustion engine. They don't run off of oil. They run off of coal.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure there's some trains like that do though, like somehow.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe a more modern train, but back then they wouldn't.
I gotta fire up my steam engine.
My steam engine. Bruh, you know what the United States needs?
A wall around the whole thing.
Yep.
Gotta keep them Mexicans
the whole
out.
thing, including like the parts that are just ocean, because we don't want those immigrants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that we need a high-speed railway, though, like Japan has.
Agreed. But,
I mean, at least,
it probably won't happen.
At least do it along one of the two coasts, because that's about the size of Japan as one of the two coasts of the United States.
Japan, has a lot of money to burn, I'd say, so they do that.
Dakota said he just got out of the movie, and he said he was in there at, 8.
Oh, yeah, Dakota was supposed to be on the podcast today, but that didn't work out.
Dakota was supposed to be on the podcast every day. There was supposed to be one last weekend, but Colton and Dakota bailed, and Kendall hadn't planned to be on, so...
Yeah. Alright, well, moving along here.
Do you want me to tell him, he can join, halfway in if he wants to?
Dakota?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I don't think anyone watching has a problem with that. Well, not watching, listening.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you're kind of watching, I guess, but you're looking at a still image.
You gotta stare at our thick pictures.
Bro, my picture's pretty thick. That's actually a pretty recent picture.
Mine's from 8th grade, so...
Oh, well, I mean...
That was when I had, that little mustache, you know?
That was my wallpaper forever, that picture was.
It's my Discord profile picture.
My Discord profile picture is what's up, but distorted.
You know, Dakota's, I took that photo. If you're watching on YouTube, I guess you can see it in SoundCloud as well.
The one that we were gonna use of Dakota.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna put that in as like a second image, and I'll change them out like halfway through.
All right.
That's not up yet.
Well, anyway,
but I'll put it in after.
When you see the image of Dakota, just keep in mind he doesn't know what season it is.
This was like in January as well when that picture was taken.
And it was like 30 the day this was took it, and he came in wearing this big huge jacket, and then he I don't even know.
Some people may have just gotten a preview. I'm like sizing the image to be right now.
Okay, while we're doing that, we might as well move on to our next.
Oof.
Our next oof.
I think I lost the image. it just fell off the screen. No, it just like disappeared for a second. Okay. Let me order, move down. Okay, and then I'll pull it upwards. And then okay. Now it's good. Alright, so I'm gonna forget to change that image 100%. Can you remind me if you remember? Alright, so,
Ben.
What?
Have you been to McDonald's recently?
Have I been to McDonald's recently?
Yes.
Oh, I think I've heard the news.
You've heard the news?
Yeah.
What's such news, Ben?
I've heard that they've got, like the cups that you would get with a Happy Meal, but like a thick boy version.
They have the thick boy version of the little kid cup now. Like, they don't have those foam ones anymore, and these cups, they suck because they're like all sweaty and stuff. And, no, seriously, it's happening to me.
The way that you explain that. They're all sweaty.
I go to put, condensation. I take this cup and I go to put it in my cup holder, right? It explodes. Like the lid goes flying off and everything. Like, it's bad. And it gets everywhere. And like, tea's sticky, you know?
Why'd you get a large tea?
What do you mean?
Aren't all the cups? Is it just the large cups or is it all cups?
No, it's just the large ones, like the big cups. I don't even know if they have like a middle-sized cup.
They have a medium cup, but it's like paper. It's not really like foam.
It's not a thick boy.
Yeah. I mean...
Anyway. Apparently it's more environmentally friendly or something like that.
How is plastic more environmentally friendly than foam?
I don't know.
That seems much less environmentally friendly. Foam can be biodegradable. Plastic can't.
Apparently the foam can't be recycled or something. I don't know. Somebody told me this and I was like, okay, whatever.
Okay, so they're basically making it more profitable for them while still being eco-friendly so that they can recycle the cups and then bring them back. But
yes.
But not everyone's going to recycle their cup. So the plan falls through.
Their big argument is that the foam cups aren't recyclable, so it's going to make the environmentalists happy, or so they think.
I mean, if they just have biodegradable foam, which I think biodegradable foam can't hold liquids because it just kind of dissolves.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like packing peanuts a lot of the time are biodegradable foam, and you can like just dump those in your sink and run water over them, and they'll just melt.
Oh, I got a story to tell. I just thought of it.
All right, go ahead.
So, this one time I was packing my lunch, and it was like 11 something, and I had my ice pack, right? And I was looking at it, and I was like, this is like a liquids type substance in it. So I'm like, what happens if I put it in the microwave? So
yeah. You texted us, and you were like, this says do not microwave. Should I microwave it?
And of course you were like, yeah, you microwave it. So I put it in, and I do it for like 10 seconds, and it doesn't do anything. So I go for like 30 seconds. It's going, and it starts getting a little hot. I do it for a minute, and it's like it started sizzling, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know, it was weird. So I get it out and I grab it. Freaking burns my fingers.
Um, the first and second times he asked us if he should do it, and he said, nothing really happened both times. And then the third time it was like, hey, do it again, do it for a minute. And then
Oh
he,
yeah, and
he
then
goes,
like
he goes, okay, and then he just doesn't respond for the rest of the night. We straight up thought he died.
next day at school, got the ice pack right here, boys.
We straight up thought either you died or your mom walked in and was like, why are you microwaving your ice pack?
Why not?
I'll get Dakota to tell the turkey in the blender story.
Oh god.
Yeah, when he comes on, or if rather, I don't know if he ever texted me back. No.
Did you ever find your copy of Rainbow?
No, I didn't. I don't know what
Rainbow
happened to it.
Siege, to be more specific.
Yeah, they play Rainbow Six all the time, and I thought we were done with that after season 2, and apparently not. So. Yeah.
No, because I'm playing it, and I'm always late to the party, because I'm too cool for school.
Yeah, you got an Xbox like just last year, I think.
I had a 360.
Yeah, but I mean, only plebeians have 360s.
I still have a 360.
I do too.
One day, we need to, the group needs to get together, and I've got, a bunch of Xbox 360 games that I will never play again. I want us to all go into, GameStop or something and have one of us record it and, bring them in to, this big, huge, 50 games and then be like, I can give you this chewed-up piece of bubble gum. I mean, it's the best I can do, man.
I've got, 20. We need to get,
all our games together.
All of our 360 games. No intention of actually trading them in, just for the meme. Walk them in there, set them all down, and then be like, how much? Let's see. I got some lint in my pocket. I can give you that. I mean, that's overcharging a little for these games. These will only sell for $50 a piece.
Have you ever tried to go to one of the GameStop or whatever with one of those Connect games?
I traded in my Connect. It wasn't at GameStop, but it was at G2K.
G2K. Is G2K other places, or is it just around here?
Okay, so here's how I think it is. I think that it's more than one place, but I think it's localized. If you go out 3 hours from here, I think that's the farthest away G2K you'll find.
It's kind of like PALS, right?
I think PALS only exists around here, yeah. I don't really know.
Well, they're in Tennessee, but I don't think I've seen one outside of Tennessee. The farthest is in Johnson City.
Yeah.
I kind of wish somebody not from around this area would watch this.
Yeah, if you're from,
no idea.
If you're not from
my God, Southwest Virginia.
Yeah, or Eastern Kentucky
Pals,
or East
Pals
Tennessee
is this. Pals is think maybe. Oh God, I don't even know what's similar to Pals.
I mean, I think one of those drive-in burger joints from the 1950s, but it's not like Sonic where they don't roll your food out to you. It's just a drive-through.
Yeah, kind of like that. And then G2K is GameStop, but it's more fair.
And they sell movies.
They sell movies and they sell consoles and stuff like that, which they do that in a GameStop, but not really as much.
Yeah, but oh my God, have you seen the amount of 360 Connects that they have up at G2K?
Yes.
They're just stockpiling those things. My God. Mine's in there as well, because I gave them my Connect. They gave me $20 for it because it was a first generation Connect that had to plug into the wall in addition to plugging into the Xbox.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I want $20 for that.
Yeah, I mean, they probably...
I get 2 cents probably for mine. It's second generation.
They probably turned around and sold it for 30 or 35. Like they
Why
probably
does
gave
anybody want it?
I don't know. I doubt anybody bought it. I would say my same Connect is still there to this day.
Have you ever like owned any PlayStation type deals? You know,
What?
like PlayStation.
What'd you say, dude? Cloned?
Have you ever like owned a PlayStation or whatever?
I've had two PS2s, both of which I don't have anymore.
We had a PS2 like when I was really young, and then I remember I had a PSP, which I still have it,
But
like the PlayStation Portable.
I was looking into getting a PSP here recently.
I've got and this was a few years back. It's like when it first came out. You know about the PlayStation Vita?
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Oh, do you? Oh my god.
But I haven't, I don't even know if it's still turned on because I haven't used it in like 2 years. Like when I bought it, I got like this Mortal Kombat game that was like that, or like a bunch, and then I like stopped using it. I could probably get some money for that, to be honest.
I don't know. I looked into getting a PSP here recently, but like, there are no good games for it. And also, if I was that guy who just had a PSP at school, you know, CJ's got the Nintendo Switch, and people will give him weird looks for that. I mean, if I'm walking around with the PSP, I mean, that's weird. Are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So do you know that they still like support the Vita almost?
They do?
Like kind of. It can be paired with the PlayStation 4 somehow or another, and they still release games for it like once in a blue moon. But
kind of like the Wii U.
Yeah, or the 360 actually. You know, they still release games for that once in a while.
They do?
Yeah, like Black Ops 3 was the last big game that I remember coming out for the 360.
In 4 years, I mean 4 years since the one came out.
They officially stopped making 360s last year, I think.
Yeah.
I think that they were still making them up until then, though.
The 360 was pretty revolutionary, I would say.
Oh yeah, it was a great system. It's probably, if I could go back and still play on it today and have the same like feeling that I did when I used to play on it, then I'd probably rate it as like my favorite console. Which I still probably...
Oh yeah, totally.
Like when
the memories on that, it's like nuts.
When I go back and play on it now, it's just kind of like I'm playing on an outdated system. It's not like I'm playing on an old system, you know?
Well, every now and again, like mine's in the living room, I'll turn it on and we'll like watch Netflix or whatever. But other than that, that's all it's used for.
Mine's in like the guest room, and I've dragged it into my room like twice because Quinn's been over and we've thought about playing it, and then we didn't. It's been off for like the past probably almost a year.
Eventually, mine's probably gonna die, but you know, I don't even remember when we got it. It was a hot minute ago.
What color is yours?
Black.
Is yours one of the black ones that has like the actual button to eject the disc tray?
Like, what do you mean by a button?
Does it have an actual button, or does it have that weird swipe thing?
It has like a touch type deal.
Yeah. That probably won't die anytime soon if you're not like extensively using it. The issues that the 360s would have is when you would use them too much, they would get too hot, and then like different pins and stuff would separate from the motherboard.
Right.
So like basically they just kind of melted inside when the red ring of death happened.
You're on an Xbox One regular, aren't you, right now?
Yeah, I'm on the default Xbox One.
I got the Xbox One S.
It seems like
it's done pretty good, I'd say.
The S?
The S?
Yeah. Yeah, like Dakota, I think he got rid of his original Xbox One so he could get an S.
It's so much smaller, right? And it's like it looks nicer.
Yeah, I mean, mine sort of just looks like a new age VCR or something.
I don't think they put a lot of thought into the design of the default one, you know?
I think they just needed to crank out another console because PlayStation did.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean the 1S does look pretty sleek, I gotta say.
yeah, my cousin has one, and it's pretty small. Like the default one is like
It's huge.
it's basically just a VCR. Like it's
Right.
like you pick it up and it weighs a pretty good amount too. I couldn't imagine that the S weighs very much.
The S weighs about like picture like your textbook, like for school or something.
Yeah,
Like a good 500 pages or whatever. That's
yeah.
what that's like.
That's not
And
bad.
you know the controller's different as well for the S.
Yeah, isn't don't you get a white one with the S?
Well, yeah, you get a white one, but also like the controller's actually different.
Oh yeah,
Like the
and they have the actual mic jack on them.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
like the
I have
go ahead, Ben.
I have two of the default controllers. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
The like the X on it that turns on your console, it's like moved down, and there's not like that black ring around it or whatever.
All right.
I've got the default white one, and then I've got a customized one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to customize one, but they're just kind of expensive.
Well, I got it for like a birthday or something like that.
My I have two controllers, and they're both like the default one that came with the Xbox One, and I have like the second one is the same, and the second one it's one of the two. It has like this weird tiny like sticky thing under the analog, and it's like so small that you can't even get it off because I've cracked
You,
open the controller before and seen it, but it's so small that you can't get it off without damaging something, and it just barely sticks the analog stick forward, and you can't even feel it, but it's just enough to where you walk forward very slowly in most games, and you scroll up through Netflix without scrolling, and it gets on my nerves. So
did you get two with your console?
no, I just got one with my console, but I got an extra one like for that same Christmas.
Um, when I have like a couple games for my one, and then if I buy any more games, I'm probably gonna buy them like on the actual store, just
Yeah,
because it's better to have digital copies, I think. I bought Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy, I think it's called, or something like that.
yeah,
Whatever, but it's like that, and they released it for the one, and it's like the original Assassin's Creed games, or at least the good ones,
yeah. It's
remastered.
like it's two Brotherhood and Revelations.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, so I was playing through that, and I got through like two, then I played through Brotherhood. And when I started Revelations, this really weird thing happened. Like, um, this thing happened where my like home button like wouldn't work. Like I couldn't go to the home screen, and it
Yeah,
wouldn't like bring it up at all. So I couldn't access like my HUD or anything. And it was
yeah,
really weird.
yeah. Was it just on that game?
No, it was like on the console,
Oh,
and it was really weird. But it happened because I was that game for some reason.
that's strange.
All right, so my mom's home. I'm probably gonna talk to her for a minute. So I guess we'll just cut this out.
All right, so 5 minute break.
Go ahead.
Are you back already? What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right, that was fast. Was that even like 5 minutes?
Mm.
Hmm. My phone is like buzzing, not buzzing. Oh, okay. It's because I have my elbow on the fingerprint scanner. All right, so Kendall, how about the Pixel 2?
It's working pretty good.
Yeah, Kendall and I like have had the same phone for a while. Like when he moved here in last year, he had the same phone as me, and when he upgraded, he got a Pixel 2, and like the next week when I got my phone upgrade, I got a Pixel 2 as well. So I think we're gonna be having the same phone until like the end of time. It's gonna be lit.
I'm probably gonna get like the Pixel 3 whenever that's a thing.
I mean, our phones are probably gonna have pretty short lifespans, which is kind of bad, but you know, the Pixel 2 is it served me pretty well so far. I haven't had any issues with it.
I've only had it like crash once, and it was because I had like 15 tabs open.
I had like 25 tabs open in Chrome until like last week, because I didn't even know, and then one of you guys pointed it out to me. I'm like going through and closing them out. I've got like Shad Base and like 14 instances of just Google, and then like the school website and some other stuff. So so how about that Bill Cosby?
I don't know. He's getting sentenced in like 3 months, isn't he?
It's 3 months, you know.
Is it 3 months?
He's got
no,
20
it's a year.
20 years.
He hasn't been sentenced yet.
Bruh, he's been sentenced. No, his charges add up to like 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Like, if he's in there for more than like 5 years, just expect him to die in prison.
Right.
Essentially. Like, I'm thinking that he'll probably get like 20 years, unless they just sentence him to death, which would be kind of controversial.
They probably wouldn't.
No, I doubt that. Did you just delete something off the Google Doc?
Yeah, we're done with that.
Oh, what was it? I don't know.
McDonald's thing.
What?
It was the McDonald's cup.
Oh, okay. I was like, what did you just delete? We have a Google Doc of the topics, and Kendall's like going through deleting crap. I'm sitting here like, bruh. So yeah, but Bill Cosby, like, I didn't grow up with Bill Cosby, so I can't really say that I care very much. I mean, like,
I really don't think he did all that, though.
well, like, you said you thought that he probably did at least some of what he's charged with.
Yeah, but not all.
I mean, like, let me search this up. Bill Cosby charges. I think he was charged on. I don't even really know. I'm reading right now.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm just reading right now. I'm trying to find what he's being charged with.
Let's begin with John Rollins. John, you were in the
Jesus
courtroom
Christ.
when the verdict was read.
When,
what was that
when
like?
people are screaming about Bill Cosby? Yeah, that site's retarded. I hate when news sites are like trying to shove their reports down your face, like by you know, just auto playing them on the sidebar, and you can't ever find it.
Yeah.
And it's always like, Bill Cosby, you were there when he was sentenced, weren't you? Yeah, and it's like, Jesus Christ, can you calm down?
Rip headphone users.
Like, the news is so retarded. I can't even read it anymore, and it hurts. I'm surprised that I heard about North Korea or Bill Cosby just because of that. So, yeah, I don't know, Bill Cosby. Yeah, like I said, I can't say that I grew up with Bill Cosby, so I don't really know that I care very much that he's being sentenced to jail time. A lot of people are really sentimental right now because Bill Cosby's being sentenced to jail time, but he was part of their childhoods. All I can really say is I watched a few episodes of Fat Albert like back in primary school, but that's the full extent of my experience with Bill Cosby.
There's like some good memes coming out of it though.
Bill Cosby memes. Should we commemorate him and put him on the background, like behind the black box with us in it?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do that next episode. We'll put Bill Cosby in the background. Post Malone's website. I wonder if he's updated it to be Beerbongs and Bentleys yet. Yeah. So what do you? So the other day we were talking about Israel, right? I brought up at school the other day. I was asking the guys if they agree with the Zionists and things, and that why the state of Israel should exist, and we basically all came to the mutual agreement that it probably shouldn't. Kind of, what's your opinion?
Well, no, we agreed that it was like in the worst place possible.
Yeah, I mean, if they were gonna make an Israel, it should have been in like Southern Europe or something, because I mean, I know that the Jews were basically run out of Europe, but I mean, if they had put it in like Southern Europe and like the Czechoslovakia area, then I mean, it would have been fine. It would have been just fine. But I mean, right now, Israel is bordered by a bunch of Muslim countries that hate the idea of Zionism and want it gone, and it's just sitting there waiting to be concentration campified.
They just build a wall around it.
Yeah, and then they're gonna sentence them all to forced labor. I mean, Israel's a very small country, so it's very good partners with the United States, though, which I don't know that I agree with. The fact that Israel's big partners with the United States shows our leniency towards the religious countries rather than the more atheistic countries such as the Soviet Union when it was around.
Is Israel part of the UN?
I would think so. Let me look that up. I don't know if it's technically in Europe. Yes, Israel is in the United Nations.
Thought it would.
I don't know. Israel's just it's not in a very good place. It's way too small to sustain all of the people that it does. Like, there are 8 million people living in Israel right now.
Seriously?
Yeah. That's a lot of people. Which there are a lot of people in the United States, and there are areas of the United States that are completely empty. There are 300 million people here. And so, I mean, we have the population of Israel in, like, probably LA. That might be overestimating.
Yeah, Israel's pretty small.
Okay, well, we have like almost a third of the population of Israel, or almost half of the population of Israel just in LA. So I mean, I guess it's not super overpopulated, but still, it's I don't know. It's not in a good place. Wonder if Dakota will come on.
I know he will.
I mean, like, we safely assumed like a solid hour ago that he probably wouldn't be on, and since he hasn't messaged me back, I'd say he's probably working on some poon or something. So, yeah. So Kendall, we only have like 3 topics left. We've only been on for like 40 minutes.
Nice.
Oh yeah, let's go. Okay, so so I've got this story. It was passed down by a friend, and so we were sitting at lunch one time, and we're it's super immature, so Xander got the lid of a pudding thing wiped on his hand, and so he goes to the bathroom to go wash it off, and on his way, one of us told him like if there's anybody in there, just walk out and be like, I had an accident, and show them. So he comes back like 10 minutes later, and he's looking like traumatized, and he goes, I did the thing. I said there was a kid in there, and I was like, hey, I had an accident, and he goes, no, you didn't, and I was like, dude, yeah, I did. And then he walks up to me, grabs my hand, and licks it, and then walks away. And my first thought was like, what if he actually had, and this kid doesn't know that he didn't actually just crap himself, and he just licked his hand.
That kid took a chance.
Like that kid was treading like on thin ice. I mean, that kid probably thinks Xander's retarded though now. But
We're probably gonna be in school with that kid.
Huh?
We'll be in school with him.
Yeah, probably next year, I'd say, or the year after.
I think it was like a 5th grader.
I don't know, really. Middle school is so weird. Like, there's such a wide demographic of people that are in there. It's like people who have just come out of primary school and people who are just about to go into high school. So I mean, like it's weird. But for a long time when I was in middle school, I thought 8th grade should probably be part of the high school, and now that I've been to the high school, I see why that is not. Yeah, the high school has been definitely interesting. It's our freshman year this year, and it's definitely been interesting to experience, especially things like the gym. Like you at the middle school, you're pampered in the gym, and you don't really even know. But once you go to the high
The
school,
gym was nasty at LFN.
yeah, it really is. At the high school, it's like it's new, so you wouldn't really know. But so Yeah, no, I'm not telling that story, Kendall. Like, I feel like people think that the locker room is much more cut off from the rest of the school than it actually is. Um, like, there was a while back, we all run track and I hate it, but it was probably the worst decision I ever made. And we were in the locker room, we were changing, and I was like leaning on like the fire extinguisher, and it's like in this little door, and I kind of pull on the door as I'm leaning away, expecting it to be locked because there's a lock on it, and it opens, and I just realized like the fire extinguisher's just open for us to grab, and then Xander walks over there and he grabs the fire extinguisher and he's just walking around with it like cradled like a baby. And as he's getting ready to put it back in there, we notice there's a used condom that was under the fire extinguisher. Someone had been in the boys' locker room and somehow ended up with a used condom.
Watch that have been like one of the coaches.
It could have been. I don't know. I mean, it had been there for a while. It was like yellow. So, I mean... Oh, the guy that I heard that one time when I was in there. So, I'm irresponsible, so a lot of the time I won't do my homework for last block at home, and I'll wait until gym, and I'll do it in the locker room. And, so... I'm sitting in like a stall in the locker room. There's like a bathroom in there, and I was sitting in a stall and I was doing my Spanish homework, and I hear someone walk in, and I'm expecting it to be TJ, and I'm expecting him to like come in and beat on the door and be like,
TJ Short.
Yeah. And Kendall, stop saying people's full names and the names of places. Like, I'm gonna have to bleep all this stuff out now. Okay, so I was expecting it to be TJ come in there and beat on the stall and be like, Ben, stop doing your Spanish homework or whatever. So, I hear like voices, and I'm thinking that it's two people, but they're like whispering. And so I hear a stall open and the stall close. And then I still hear talking, but it's getting progressively louder, and I come to realize that it's just one person. And so, this one and I had heard, like, weird, like, moaning coming from the stall. Not, like, full on, but I had heard that, and I was just like, okay, so there's gay sex happening in the stall, whatever.
Which is typical.
Yeah, I mean, with that last story. So, I hear... this, and it's just one guy, so then I realize, oh, he's probably like fapping or something, right?
That happens.
Well, I just hear him like moaning and like a fart every once in a while, and like crap hitting the water, and then I hear like crap hit the water. And then he goes, ooh, that was a stinky one. And so, like, what I do, our toilets at the schools have, like, those sensors on them, so when you stand up, it just automatically flushes. So I grab a piece of toilet paper, put it over the sensor so it won't flush, and then I like, crawl out from under the stall, Spanish homework in hand, and then just leave. Like, I could not be in there, and that guy also be in there. Like, I don't know who it was, but I don't know that I want to know.
He probably knew you were there and he was just making a joke or whatever.
Maybe, I don't know, but it had to have been, like, one of the retards. If it was. Like, I don't think anybody in high school would go that far just to make a joke.
Well, compared to the last story, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I mean, one time I walked into the legit bathroom at the school, and, the door shuts behind me, and, like...
Wait, like, which one?
It was, like, the downstairs bathroom. Like, at the actual school, and, I walk in, and I just hear, like, hardcore, like, as I'm walking in, and it's like going hard, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, someone's fapping. So I walk in, and I close my stall, and I lock it, and like as soon as the door hits and like the stall closes, the guy I just hear it stop. And for the entire time that I'm in the bathroom, it has stopped. But then, like, I unlock my stall, and I'm, like, walking out, and then I just hear it start back up, and the guy, like, I go, ah. It wasn't even, like, Kendall, stop. Kendall's messing with the Google Doc. This was a professional thing. But, like, oh my god, that guy. Like, I can only imagine what was going through his head, but, you know, the high school has been strange, nevertheless.
Was there, like, somebody else in there? Or?
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I'm just honestly not sure. So... Kendall,
take our guns away.
Just to continue a tradition from the last podcast, Kendall, what's your opinions on Rick and Morty?
I need to watch it, like...
You haven't watched Rick and Morty?
No.
Oh, bruh. Oh, no, bruh. You gotta watch Rick and Morty. What's your opinion on the fan base?
They're pretty intellectuals.
I mean, you know me, and I'm an intellectual, of course, because I watch Ronk and Conk.
They're in like the thumbnail, I think.
What?
Like they're in the thumbnail.
Pickle Rick is on the background of the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's a good show, Kendall. I mean, you said you have Hulu now, so it's worth watching. Okay.
How many seasons are there?
3. They all have like 10 episodes, though. I think one has 11. Yeah, but like season 1 and 2 are about the same quality, but 3 isn't very good. Well, it's okay. It's just not as good as season 1 and 2.
So, like, is it on break right now, or?
Well, no network has picked it up for season 4 yet.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, like, it's that they think that Adult Swim hasn't yet just because of the cancerous fan base, and like they don't want to be associated with that.
They already are, sort of.
I mean, yeah, they have to be now, but I guess they don't want to be any more associated than they already are. Yeah, I mean, Rick and Morty's been a good show so far. I hope that like Netflix or someone will pick it up for the 4th season. I mean, I doubt anybody else will.
I'm sure somebody will pick it up. But...
Yeah. Yeah, someone made a remark against Dan Harmon on Twitter and was like, "Oh, you need to, get off your, you need to just get back to work on Rick and Morty." And he was just like, it's kind of hard to work on it when no networks actually picked it up for a 4th season yet.
You can't just like do it like with your own network.
If he just does it and he has no guarantee of it actually happening, then
he's wasting his time and he has to pay people to make them. It's like,
yeah, exactly, and then he's losing money on that. Which, whatever.
I'm sure he's made a lot of money from it.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably made a pretty penny so far from Rick and Morty. Yeah, I'm not Like, I don't know. Like, the Rick and Morty fans almost make me not want to, claim to be a fan. But, I don't really care about people. So, whatever.
It's a pretty toxic fan base.
Yeah, the fact that I'm a part of it is kind of like, it's kind of like a shame, but, whatever, I guess. I wear my Ronk and Conk shirt and I insult people for not being as intellectual as I am. Of course, I don't actually, like, think that, but, I like to pretend to be that guy. I like to get on people's nerves.
Yeah,
Alright,
you do.
yeah. So, kind of, we hit an hour here a couple minutes ago.
I'm gonna end it off then.
We can either do it now or in like 10 minutes. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess we can just go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this has been a considerably shorter episode than last time, but the last episode was really long, so I guess we'll compensate for that. Everyone, thanks for watching. I guess this has been Rock Herpes. Kendall, will you be back again if we need you?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Kendall's okay. Tune in next week and we will have Camunition on, and that's gonna be a fun time. Maybe, hopefully. It should be next week. There's like a tiny chance that I might have a thing, but I doubt it. So, yeah, we should have Camunition on next week. It should be me and Dakota and Colton and, of course, Cameron. But, if Dakota bails again, we might have Kendall on. So, we'll see. Alright, bye, everybody.